What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world? Austin John Plays here, and surprise, tomorrow there's a Nintendo Direct. Let's talk about it. So I was in the middle of finishing up my Link's Awakening video for today, but this happened, so I don't know. I might release it today, it might be coming out tomorrow, although tomorrow's the actual video. I don't know, it's gonna come out, don't worry. Let's talk about this Nintendo Direct, because this kinda came out of nowhere. The best way to predict what's going to happen in Nintendo Direct is to look back at previous years on what they do for around this time, because they kinda do it quarterly, sorta, and it gives us an idea on what we can expect and look forward to possibly from this Nintendo Direct. As opposed to the Nintendo Directs that we get in the beginning of the year, February-ish, and then the one we get around E3, this one is a little bit more of a recap, some smaller releases, a lot of third-party stuff, and a few teases for upcoming years. So let's talk about that. The first release is 9 days after that Direct, and it's Daemon X Machina, which they've been talking about forever. So we're gonna get a quick little recap just to refresh in everyone's mind. Daemon X Machina is coming out next week. Go buy it. And we're also going to be knowing that Link's Awakening is coming out in 2 weeks. Go buy it. Mario Kart Tour is going to be coming out for iOS and Android on September 25th. I don't know if we're going to be seeing that in this Nintendo Direct, as they tend to not focus on the mobile titles, but just the Switch titles. Dragon Quest XI is coming out also in September. September's a busy month for Nintendo. Yeah, September 27th is Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. And if you didn't know, there's currently a demo that you can play. I haven't actually booted up the demo, although I do believe the demo is like a very long one. You get to play for about 10 hours of the game, and your progress is going to be moved over into the game when it comes out. So a 10-hour demo is pretty fantastic. Do keep in mind that that 10 hours is per profile. So if you have 2 profiles on the same Switch, you can play the same 10 hours twice. Which I think is pretty fantastic. When Octopath Traveler came out and you got a 3-hour demo, I thought that was impressive, but 10 hours, they're just laying out on the table. There's no reason to not go and download the Dragon Quest XI demo right now. If you like it, consider buying the game. If you don't like it, it was free and you got to play for 10 hours. That's pretty impressive. On the press site, there's something called Layden's Mystery Journey, the Millionaire's Conspiracy Deluxe Edition. I have no idea what that is, so they're probably going to tell us about it. Pokemon Sword and Shield is going to be coming out November 15th. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We also have Luigi's Mansion coming out on Halloween, October 31st, and we have Animal Crossing New Horizons set for March 20th of next year. Those are the games that's currently listed on Nintendo's press site, so there's a very good chance we're going to hear about all of those. Now, let's look back at last year's E3 on the discussions and the announcements there. We got the reveal trailer for Luigi's Mansion 3, which no one expected that. There's a very good chance that we're going to get a little bit more info on Luigi's Mansion 3, but keep in mind this isn't about getting info, it's about just seeing it and reminding you to go buy it. We also got 3DS titles, Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, Bowser's Inside Story, and Luigi's Mansion 1 on the 3DS. Probably not getting anything for the 3DS, so that's great. Last year was version 4.0 of Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2 has ended all of their online tournaments, I believe. That was right around the 2-year anniversary, which is pretty impressive to keep tournaments like that going on. Who knows, we may get a surprise announcement about Splatoon 3 coming up in the future, or maybe a big expansion pass, although I think that's less likely. There was an update to Mario Tennis Aces. They're probably not caring about that anymore. Capcom had a beat 'em up bundle. While we're talking about our Plumber Brothers, you think we might get Mario Maker DLC? Or maybe an expansion? You know how 3D World is listed separately from the other themes? They could put one next to 3D World. We got the announcement for Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which was a Wii U port, one of the very few titles left that has not been ported over. If they are going to be porting over 2 main games I'm thinking of from the Wii U, being the Zelda ports, I think they would wait until after Link's Awakening. In my mind, it doesn't make a lot of sense for them to announce it now and say, hey, here's a new Zelda game and a new Zelda game that are coming out in a while, but there's a new Zelda game that's coming out in a month that we want you to spend money on. I don't think we'll be seeing a Zelda Wii U port to the Switch for Twilight Princess or Wind Waker. Could always be wrong. Hope I'm wrong. While we're on the subject of talking about Zelda games, we did get the announcement for the Breath of the Wild sequel that was in development. No title or anything else like that. Could we see that? 50-50. If we are going to be seeing it, I am very doubtful that we'll get a release date. A lot of people think that we are going to be getting it next year, 2020, for holiday season, which would be fantastic, and I would love that. If not, then I think we're going to be getting Twilight Princess HD ported over and Wind Waker HD ported over. If we're going to hear about any of that at all, I think it would be much more likely for that to be in the February Direct, not in this one, again, because Link's Awakening is about to come out. Last year, we also had a big announcement as far as the Nintendo Switch Online membership that was September 18th. And that detailed everything for the online service, including the classic games, and then we also saw the NES Joy-Cons. Now, something I didn't cover that happened last month, there was a patent filed by Nintendo for Super Nintendo controllers. It's believed that those Super Nintendo controllers are going to be Super Nintendo Joy-Cons, and now, at this Direct, which is pretty much the one-year anniversary of the online service being paid for mandatory, we're going to be getting SNES games, which would be fantastic. A lot of people are wondering if that would increase the price or not. I don't know, considering that the online service isn't that fantastic as far as like lag, because every game that comes out by Nintendo you hear about lag, except for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for some reason. So fingers crossed we're getting SNES games coming to the Nintendo Switch. I would put money on Super Mario World definitely being one of them. At last year's Direct, we heard about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. We got additional details. They basically talked about the secret techniques replacing HMs. We may get a small announcement like that coming from Pokemon Sword and Shield. And then we also learned about the Pikachu Eevee bundle, which is actually my current Nintendo Switch that I'm using. Yeah, there we go. You pay $100 for that. We already know about the Switch Lite, which is also coming out in 3 weeks, so we're definitely getting info on the Switch Lite. I mean, not info, but they're going to talk about it. The limited edition Zamazenta and Zacian, I'm saying those names wrong, from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Switch Lite, they're probably going to be talking about that again, just reminding everyone, maybe making a bundle with the Switch Lite and the games themselves. I don't know. We got a reminder about Super Mario Party. We got the reveal of Town, a game by Game Freak, which I haven't heard anything about Town since then. And it looks pretty good. It's by Game Freak, the people who have made Pokemon forever, and supposedly there are some people talking about that Team A at Game Freak is working on Town, and Team B is working on Swish, Pokemon Sword and Shield. So it looks like a pretty good game, and some people believe that it has a higher priority, which is weird because we haven't heard anything announcement about it. Maybe we'll get an info update, or we'll get an announcement date, release date. That'd be sweet. We also got some Steam ports. We had City Skylines and Civilization coming over to the Nintendo Switch. I actually recently just played those again on Steam, not on the Switch. So we may see some more popular Steam games coming to the Nintendo Switch. We saw Daemon X Machina, Yoshi's Crafted World, Starlink, an expansion for Xenoblade 2. So we may get some more games like that aren't, you know, the main Nintendo characters, but the secondary ones like Fox and Yoshi, something like that. While we're talking about the B tier people in Super Smash Brothers, meaning, you know, not Mario and Link, Samus, haven't heard anything new about Metroid Prime 4 or the trilogy. Maybe something about that. Maybe they're gonna take 3DS Metroid and port it to the Switch. Maybe. Last year we got the announcement of all of the Final Fantasy games coming to the Nintendo Switch. We may see more of that, or while we're talking about other major developers, Ubisoft released an Assassin's Creed remaster. We may see that happening again for the Nintendo Switch and porting one of them over. That'd be sweet. One company that we haven't heard pretty much anything from in a long time, Bethesda, who they released Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch, and Elder Scrolls Blades, I think that came out for the Switch. It was also mobile. And then we also had Fallout Shelter, so a lot of people have been hoping and wishing that we see Fallout 3 or 4 or New Vegas coming to the Nintendo Switch, which The Witcher's coming out, so no one has any excuses anymore. Last year, we also got the Smash Ultimate Bundle. So with the Smash Ultimate Bundle, digital download only, and a controller, it's right there. Digital download only and a controller, and the custom Joy-Cons and custom dock. So maybe something like that. We also saw Isabelle in Smash and Animal Crossing 2019. We may get character number 4, possibly even 5 being revealed. Banjo is slated for fall, and some people have been talking about a 7-Eleven promotion in either China or Japan. I don't remember exactly. I might have the info on screen right now. I think it was a 7-Eleven or some chain convenience store that had an advertisement for the Nintendo Switch, and Banjo was featured on there. So because of that, people are theorizing that Banjo is going to be announced very, very soon, because it doesn't make sense to make an announcement now for something 2 months from now, and for like an in-store, they're called shelf talkers. At this direct, we may get, they may say, hey, today, get Banjo in Smash, which would be really sweet. We may get character number 4 from SNK. We may learn about 5. I don't think that they would announce it all at once. I think they are going to wait until next year's first quarter Nintendo Direct for the last character. And lastly, we may get some information on Animal Crossing coming out 2020. There's a lot of stuff that can be covered, a lot of stuff that is coming up immediately. There's 4 Nintendo games coming out in September, this month. 1 in October, 2 in November. It is a busy fourth quarter. Busy fourth quarter. So only time will tell on what we're getting tomorrow. I'm excited for it either way because I'm going to be covering it. It's going to be 6 p.m. here on the East Coast, and it's tomorrow. So when you see this video go live, it's probably going to say live in 26 hours or 25 hours, depending how fast I could get the editing done. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking because it's time to start editing. It's still on top of my face. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. We're still giving away a Nintendo Switch. Check the link out down below. Until next time, Austin John out.